Joining the show today is the host of Baseball Podcasts Are Fun, Grayson Knight. Grayson, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me be here. I'm ready to have some fun.
All right, me too, man. So, I always like to start with all of our guests. Where does your love for the game come from?
So my love for the game comes from, well, I just love the game of baseball really, and it's just so fun and entertaining and active. Everybody has a play everywhere, and you're always in the action. No matter where the ball's hit, you're either at the base or at the ball or backing up someone. It's just so active, and you just like it's so fun,
Yeah,
and I just love it.
yeah, I couldn't agree more. You always got to be on your toes, and I think that's one thing that I guess not fans, but people who aren't fans of baseball don't realize there's so much more that goes into it than meets the eye. So I totally agree with you on that. So, who are some of your favorite players? Do you have a favorite team?
My favorite team is the Tampa Bay Rays, but I think I took on that favorite team in 2019 when they made the postseason when they beat the Athletics. Um, I'm trying to think. Some of my favorite players then was like Chris Bryant, Kevin Kiermaier, Anthony Rizzo. The Cubs were kind of like my favorite team because the 2016 I was like 7 years old and I just loved all of them and it was so cool. Javi Baez is still one of my favorite players to
Yeah,
this day.
that guy, man, his glove is ridiculous. Some of the tags he makes at second base, you can't even explain how he does
Yeah,
it. But yeah, that
he has
that
such
Cubs
quick
team,
hands.
yeah, it's insane. It's almost like Omar Vizquel, but it's really impressive. But
Mhm.
yeah, that Cubs team in 2016, that was miraculous. We definitely witnessed some pretty awesome history the last
Mhm.
few years during the baseball season. But do you have any particular ballpark memories or favorite fan moments?
Um, I haven't been to any games that like there was a cool moment like walk off. It was mostly a generic game, but I went to NLCS Game 6 where the Braves beat the Dodgers in the championship series to go on to the World Series.
No way. What? That's crazy, man. What was the atmosphere like there?
It was incredible. Everyone was cheering. Everyone was a Braves fan. It was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's so cool. I've
Uh,
been
an-
to. Now go ahead.
another one that was really crazy. I went to a game in Minnesota for the Rays playing the Twins, and that game lasted 18 innings.
Wow, you basically got two for the price of one there.
Yeah, there were two seventh inning stretches, one of the seventh, one of the 14th.
That's wild. That's a lot of baseball. You definitely got your
Yeah.
money's worth there. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Uh,
there's nothing like playoff baseball though. I remember my first playoff game in it was actually 2007 Yankees Indians. Yankees actually won that game. It was Roger Clemens' final start ever. I think Phil Hughes' first career postseason win or something. But I'll never forget the sound of the crowd when Johnny Damon hit a home run. It just still gives me goosebumps to this day. But
yeah.
um, but yeah, so you've had some pretty awesome experiences already, at your young age, and you got to go to one of my favorite places on the face of the earth this summer. You got to go to Cooperstown Dreamspark. And what
Yep.
was that like?
It was honestly one of the best experiences of my life. So we went to the Hall of Fame, but that wasn't it. We went to this whole Cooperstown Dreams Park experience. We got to play a whole tournament with 65 teams. We played a team from Canada. The team that won it was from Texas. It was insane. We got to meet all these sorts of kids and trade pins, and it was incredible.
Yeah. No, I still remember because I was fortunate enough to go to that twice because they changed the league age right when I was 12. So I was able to go back another year. But it's just one of the coolest experiences ever. And
Did
I
you go
love,
to Did you go to Dreams Park?
yeah, yep. So I, like you, I remember playing teams from all across the country. And that was my first experience ever doing that, besides playing. I grew up in New York. So besides playing teams from around our area, it was just wild. And I wish I had him with me to show on the show, but I still have like the 100 pins that we got to exchange, and still remember what ours looked like. We were the Hornell Red Raiders, and it
What
it
state? What
was
state were you in?
uh, in New York originally,
Okay.
and yeah, I remember I actually hit my only home run there against a team from like Utah or something, but it was just wild. It was just cool seeing all these
Wow.
different pins. There was a team from Hawaii there, I think, and like
We saw a team from Hawaii.
did they have any lays with them, like handing out any of those?
That'd be cool, but no.
Um,
Did you go to the Hall? I'm sure you went to the Hall of Fame, right?
yeah, man. So I'm obviously baseball junkie, and downtown Cooperstown with the Hall of Fame is one of my favorite places on earth. Um, I'm trying to think really what stood out to me. I think it was just honestly Doubleday Field was one of the coolest parts for me, and just being where so many legends of the game have been. It's a one of a kind experience. What stuck out to you about the Hall of Fame the most, or what do you remember most?
Ooh. Um, so there was a lot of exhibits, like the Jackie Robinson exhibit. Obviously it wasn't when you went, but there's this video of like all the Hall of Famers that came in to the Hall of Fame, and every like big play that they did, and how much of like a support they had. Like Big Poppy was in it, Hank Aaron was in it. Um, yeah, it was incredible. But so we have my mom's coworker was actually kind of in the Hall of Fame for so the Gwinnett Stripers, the AAA team for the
Yeah.
Braves, were doing like this thing for Northside Hospital where my mom works, and her friend volunteered in this thing, and her name was written on a shirt, and that shirt was like displayed in the Hall of Fame. So she's technically in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, she's a Hall of Famer, man. That's so cool.
Yeah.
How many people can say that who never, step foot on a major league field? That's pretty special. But yeah, I
Mhm.
think the one thing that I remember is I'm sure it's still there. Babe Ruth's had his own section, and
Yeah.
like some of his jerseys, and even they had like programs from when he went on his baseball tour in Japan, and Hank Aaron's Gold Glove. One of his Gold Gloves was in there, so it's just cool. And I wish we could eventually get a behind the scenes tour into their, I don't know, basement vault or whatever, where they keep all the memorabilia and everything. That'd be pretty fun. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, awesome place. And obviously it's a tremendous place to collect if you love, buying baseball cards or collecting memorabilia. Did you happen to get anything special when you were there?
Just a few baseball packs and cards, like opening day ones. Not anything like super rare
Yeah.
or like signed.
Yeah. I regret, I guess, I blew a lot of my money on baseball hats. And looking back now, I wish I had got some, at least maybe one vintage card when I was there. But nonetheless, they were cool at the time. I
What
wore
what
them.
year were what year were you there?
So it was 2006 was my first year in 2007. So I was trying to think. The first year was um, Tony Gwynn and Cal Ripken were inducted,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm trying. I honestly can't remember who it was in 2007, but I remember the bungalows though in Cooperstown. Getting back to the Dreamspark, we stayed at Branch Rickey, I think, because they have the baseball cards of the guys on the bungalows in Cooperstown. I think we stayed at Branch Rickey the first year, and I want to say Nolan Ryan the second year. Do you remember who was on your bungalow?
No, I'm not really. Yeah, I really don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they still even have them there or not, but
Mhm.
um, did
Who do you think's gonna be inducted next year?
man, I'm not even sure who's on the list. I
Yeah.
gotta look at the list.
I mean, if they do sort of come to agreement, maybe Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, but I still don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because there are a lot of guys like that who've inched their way closer and closer. Um, and I know people are wishy-washy on it. Some are very against them being in the Hall of Fame. I kind of look at it like,
Did Ichiro get inducted yet?
not yet. Nope.
How many more years does he have?
Let's see. I'm trying to think. When did
I
he
th I thi I
retire?
think he retired in 2019, and you have to wait at least 5 years.
5 years.
So,
So I think he's got one more year left.
yeah, well,
But
yes, yeah. But
yeah.
he's definitely getting inducted.
Oh, hands
Mhm.
down, should be
Yeah.
100%. If someone doesn't vote for him, like there's one person who didn't vote for Derek Jeter, I think, or something crazy. It's like,
Why?
yeah, what does somebody have a grudge against the guy? Like, I don't understand. It's interesting to say the least. But a couple of for sure Hall of Famers retired this year. Well, Albert Pujols will be
Albert Pujols,
hands
easily.
down.
Yadier Molina,
Yeah,
has he
like
retired? He isn't officially retired yet, but
I
I think
think this week it came out. They both officially retired. I thought Wainwright was gonna this year.
Wainwright's coming back for one more year.
I saw that. I love
Yeah.
that. And he,
Miggy hasn't retired yet.
yep, and that'll be hands down. You know, it's funny when I was your age, big Yankees fan. Still am a big Yankees fan, but absolutely couldn't stand any other teams, especially the Red Sox or even the Tigers back then, because with Verlander and Miggy even on the '03 Marlins knocked them out of the World Series. They beat the Yanks there, and it was unfortunate because I couldn't stand them, so I couldn't really appreciate those guys and their talent when I was younger.
Mhm.
But now, a little older, more mature, I'm kind of becoming more of a fan of just baseball and can really
Yeah.
appreciate what these guys are doing. So
Like,
I
I have no favorite teams in the World Series. Phillies, I really don't like, and Astros, I really do not like. So, and I'm just watching it because I love baseball.
yeah, you got to watch it. And there's history being made. It seems like this was a year of just records being broken, and obviously with what Judge did and Pujols with his
Pujols
700 chase, but the was that the second no hitter in World Series history, even though it was a combined no hitter, it's
combined.
still
It still counts. Still
still
counts.
no hitter. And then Harper, what he's doing, it's been a fun series, although agonizing definitely when the Astros win, because just obviously it seems they beat the Yankees every year and knock them out the past
Mhm.
couple of years. But
Yankees fans chanting, "We want Astros," after
but
we want Houston. I
it,
don't know if you do, to be honest.
no, it didn't turn out so well. I was
Yeah.
hoping for Seattle, but even they were playing the Yankees tough this year too, you know.
Mhm.
But
Seattle was pretty good this year, to be honest.
they it looked like they were fading, potentially going to drop out of the wild card spot, but they just turned it on down the stretch, and
Yeah.
they got a young group, and it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, Julio Rodriguez is a once in a generation talent, and they got a good young squad there, and I love Cal Raleigh's nickname, Big Dumper. I mean, where they come up with this stuff.
Mhm.
It's funny, but definitely baseball players have the best nicknames. I think we can both agree on that.
Yeah.
But
Who doesn't? Who does like, name one person that doesn't have a better that does have a better nickname.
no, no one.
Yeah.
But I want to get into your podcast a little bit because you just wrapped up season 3, and for those who might not know or haven't listened, describe your show a little bit.
So my show is basically talking to professionals, coaches, anyone baseball related or adjacent, and just talking about what makes baseball fun for them. Like, we don't even have to talk about like players or coaches. We talk with a mini episode with just the person who announced a a baseball game, and there's no baseball involved, but we just talk about life and what makes what makes it fun for them and why baseball. And that's
Yeah,
pretty much it.
yeah. No, that's cool. So what made you want to start a podcast in the first place?
So The first year of middle school, I took a class. I took a Genius Hour class, so I could create anything I wanted, and I wanted to create a podcast about baseball because I love baseball and podcasting just seems fun. I've listened to a lot of podcasts, and I wanted to create 4 episodes. This was uh right before the 2020 World Series ended. I mean 2021 World Series ended. This was last year, and I wanted 1 episode to go over stats, 1 episode to go over postseason, 1 episode to go over awards, and 1 episode just to like talk about baseball in general. And that I did the stats episode, but what I didn't do is I didn't do that. I did a few more episodes just talking about baseball and talking about what I just said to
Hmm.
players. And do you know who Coach Ballgame is?
I don't know.
So he's like a coach that runs baseball clinics, and he's a really fun guy. I interviewed him for my 3rd episode, and that's where it basically took off, and how listeners started listening to it, and that's basically how it started. And I also got top project on my Genius Hour.
That's awesome, man. That's such a cool story. Well, one, congratulations on the top project, but I think it's pretty commendable what you're doing at your age too. I mean, you seem like a seasoned pro, so definitely keep up the good work. And I do want to talk about your latest episode, your season finale. There, you got to interview one of your favorite players, Brett Phillips. Tell me what that experience was like for you.
So it wasn't just my season finale. It was my podcast anniversary, my 1 year podcast anniversary, because I did it on the day that I had my first ever podcast, and that was exactly last year on October 31st, the Halloween, and I just had so much fun with that interview. He's my favorite player, and I met him in Toronto. He crashed the interview I did with the Dovetail Bats owner, and I talked to him for a few minutes. And then he left, and then I just talked for the rest of the episode. But it was insane talking to him for a whole 48 minutes. Well, the podcast was 48 minutes. We did 10 minutes before and like 15 minutes after with my family. So over an hour of talking to my favorite baseball player ever. It's just incredible.
Yeah, man, that's a dream come true. That's so
Mhm.
cool you're able to do that. And obviously you've done a handful of episodes. Who, I don't know if anyone can top Brett Phillips, but who have been some of your favorite guests so far?
So I've interviewed a lot of the Savannah Bananas. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah,
I've basically the whole organization. So there's 2 teams, the Bananas and the Party Animals. I've interviewed half of all of them. 40-man roster on one team, 40-man roster on the other. I'm pretty sure I've interviewed over 40 of them, maybe.
that's awesome. And
I don't know, but maybe.
that's the cool thing about podcasts. It gives you an excuse to reach out to someone and build those connections. And that's the one thing that I've really enjoyed doing this myself is just getting to know people, getting to know, their love for the game, and just talk baseball. And it definitely helps me, I think, love the game even more. Like you said, baseball is fun.
Mhm.
I think a lot of times we get, especially myself, I worked for the Yankees AAA team for 4 seasons, and you get so wrapped up into it and it becomes a job, you lose your, kind of love for the game, so to speak. So doing this definitely helps you kind of reel you back in and help you remember why you love baseball, why it's America's pastime, and just hearing, everyone's stories. It definitely keeps you going.
Yep.
So have you learned anything, interesting about yourself or from guests, throughout your podcast and doing
So
these different episodes?
I've learned a lot from a lot of people, but there's also a few things a lot of people have told me that are just like the same, and they want me to not never stop loving the game of baseball because baseball is such a fun sport. Probably, well, in my opinion, obviously, because I'm biased, but baseball's the best sport, and I don't think any other sport could top that except table tennis. I'm just kidding. No, but pick.
I mean, it is pretty fun, but
Uh,
we had a ping pong table in our locker room in college, and we basically had, a ping pong league the whole season,
But
and I wasn't anywhere near the top rank, but I was middle of the pack.
but actually, I think the only other sport that can compete with baseball is pickleball. I love pickleball.
Pickleball, it's funny to see it becoming mainstream now. My first exposure to pickleball, we had a tournament. Our gym teacher actually in high school had a pickleball tournament for grades 9 through 12. So anyone could compete in it, and we call it the
Is it
Vlasic class.
1v1s or 2v2s?
It was 2v2s. Yep.
Okay.
So I actually played with my battery mate, my catcher, and we ended up doing pretty well. But I always loved it because it was called the Vlasic Classic. Vlasic pickles.
Wow.
And they had trophies. Well, they had names of the players, the guys who have won in previous years. So it's just a cool tradition that our school has. I'm pretty sure it's still going, but it is pretty funny to see all these all-stars and celebrities getting in on the pickleball action. I think Mark Cuban just played pickleball. So, hey, I don't know. Maybe we'll see professional pickleball get on the same level as, I don't know, soccer or basketball one day.
And so actually, in PE this year, we actually had a pickleball unit, and we won our unit, and we won like a Gatorade and a few candies. But still, it was awesome.
Hey, man, that's it. It doesn't matter what the prize is. First place is first place.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and it keeps you in shape too. Keeps you in shape for the diamond. Definitely get some good hand-eye coordination, some agility in there. It's fun and definitely a good workout. But we'll transition to, we'll do a quick rapid fire segment here.
Nice.
So just say the first thing that pops into your head.
Okay.
Favorite position?
Center field.
Ooh, okay. Favorite ballpark food?
Hot dog, I guess.
Yeah, classic.
Mm-hmm.
This one might be tough. Favorite baseball movie?
Favorite baseball movie of all time: Field of Dreams, Sandlot, or The Natural.
Yeah, you can't pick just one.
Yeah.
It's such a hard question, but those three are iconic. So you can't go wrong with either of them. This is a fun one. Team you most want to play for?
Ooh. Well, I want to play on a team that's good, but I also want to play on a team that's like close to where I live now. So the Braves would be good. Any team in Florida that would be good. And anywhere in the East Coast would be good. If I end up in Seattle, that if I still live here and I end up in Seattle, that might not be good. But anywhere on the East Coast, that'd be cool. Not the Yankees though, sadly. Mhm.
Hey, it's tough playing in New York, so I don't blame
Yeah.
you. Those Yankees fans can be pretty brutal.
Yeah.
What about you've been to quite a few stadiums, but is there one on your list you want to go to?
Ooh, I wanna go to St. Louis for some reason, but
Yeah.
oh, wait, do you mean Major League or, like, any other?
Well, I mean, I guess it can be any, but you can
Okay, 'cause,
have,
like,
if you have,
Field of Dreams would be awesome, but
yeah, and you can kind of do that in the same trip. You could hit both of those because they're right. I mean,
and Kansas City.
yeah, you could do a little Midwest swing there, right in the
Yeah.
heart of America. That
I think all we need for my dad's, 30, ballpark tour is Kansas City and St. Louis, to be honest,
really,
I think.
wow, that's impressive. So what has he been to? Like 28 so far?
No, so my dad counts the ones that were old.
Yep.
So like old Yankee Stadium, old Shea Stadium, he counts those.
No, that's awesome. I think I've
Mhm,
been to like, I have to think about this, 7 or 8, but
mhm.
definitely I want to go to Busch Stadium because St. Louis just seems like such a cool baseball town, and it's, I don't know, that's another team with such a great history too, that I think their own museum would would be cool seeing. But all right, couple more here.
My dad's been to 38.
38
Yeah, he
stadium.
just told me.
Holy cow!
Mhm.
I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous about that. But
What about you? How many have you been to?
hold on, I might have to. I'm gonna have to go through them. So if we're counting, we get to count the old stadiums. So old Yankee, new Yankee, City Field, Shea Stadium. Camden Yards, the Trop, uh, Truist Park, or whatever it's called now,
Yeah.
where the Braves play. That's 7. Where the Nationals play. I don't remember that
No,
one,
I
what
don't
the name
remember. I
is.
think Nationals Park, maybe.
Is that? Yeah, that sounds right.
Maybe.
My gosh, I'm blanking. I got Fenway Park. Got to work my way down the East Coast here. I think
Yeah.
that's
That's it.
8.
I've been to I think I've been to at least maybe 7. But I've
That's
been to a
good.
lot I've been to a lot of Braves games.
Yeah, that's a
Mm,
beautiful stadium. I love it there, and we went for 4th of July game in 2019, and it was such a great experience. And the prices of food food and beverages there are outstanding. I was kind of shocked when I think you could get a drink and a hot dog for like combined
$2
like yeah, it's incredible. It was
$2
like
hot
going to
dog.
a minor league stadium. It was incredible because I'm used to Yankee Stadium prices where a drink's like $20, hot dogs $10.
There's so many
So
people there, so
yeah,
it's
but it's that was really cool. And yeah, like I said, the stadium is tremendous. But definitely I would say want to go Wrigley Field and Busch Stadium. Those are definitely top on my list, and the Field of Dreams would be awesome. But I tell you, one of the coolest minor league stadiums that I got to go to, we went to Tacoma for the AAA All Star game. So the Tacoma Rainiers. The stadium itself is nice, but we were sitting in left field, and if you sit in left field, there's a great shot of Mount Rainier in the background. So that's one that probably never get to go to again. You talk about because being in Seattle, that was a
yeah.
6-hour flight or something crazy, but
Mhm.
that was pretty cool being out there. Um, we'll end it here with an extra innings question for you.
Oh, okay.
So you get to choose 2 figures from baseball history to co-host your podcast.
Okay.
Who are you picking?
Ooh. I'd love to have Jackie Robinson.
That's a
That would
great
be
one.
really cool. Cause like talk about his history.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, 2. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I'm just gonna say Brett Phillips because I don't want me to be thinking for 4 hours here. So let's just say Brett Phillips, Jackie Robinson, and Brett Phillips.
That's a good combination. Brett seems like an awesome guy, just a great personality, and like you
Oh,
said, Jackie.
also Ricky Branch would be cool with Jackie Robinson. But yeah,
Yeah, Branch Rickey. He's
I
got
mean,
some stories, man. He's because the more kind of I'm reading and doing research, the more I'm finding about him and just his past, and they would definitely have some stories for sure. So that
mhm,
would be some interesting choices. Good
mhm.
job.
Can I ask
Um,
you a few questions before we go?
yeah, man.
All right. So what is your favorite baseball experience ever?
My favorite baseball experience ever. That's just tough. Um, I mean, I've been to a couple of playoff games, which were awesome. Like I said, the 2007 ALDS. Got to go to the 2017 ALCS Yankees Astros Game 4, which the Yankees won, which was pretty cool. But overall experience. So I got to, as I mentioned, I worked for the Yankees AAA team, the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, for a couple of years. And the one day, I mean, we would always get different celebrities or former players to come and do like signing days and where they get to meet the crowd and everything. And the one day Bernie Williams came. So Bernie
Oh, okay.
was, one of my favorites growing up and part of the dynasty Yankees there. And it was cool because typically we'd have a couple of like 1 or 2 staff members that were supposed to stick with the celebrities that day, just to almost like security, kind of walking them around, making sure they don't get bothered. And so I got to hang out with Bernie Williams for a day. That was awesome. We got to go in the dugout while he played the national anthem on the guitar. So I had a front row seat to him playing the national anthem, and just got to hang out, walk around with him. So that's up there. Met a lot of cool people through minor league baseball, and so that's up there. The other one, we had on Sandlot's 25th anniversary, we had a Sandlot night, and Hamilton Porter, the Hambino, got to come and got to meet him. And that night, the ballpark was packed. We had a s'more station. We had a Hambino giveaway, which actually I'm going to go grab. It's right here.
Okay. Oh, that's Hambino, cool.
Right? So
that's actually really cool.
Pretty cool. That's one of my favorites all time. But so I would say those two experiences, like putting that night together. And I know you said one, but I'm gonna go three because you gave me 3 baseball movies. I don't know. Have you played backyard baseball ever? The game?
Backyard baseball.
It was a computer game growing up when I was a kid. I think they might have had 1 or 2 seasons on GameCube, but I absolutely loved that game as a kid, and it's one of those full circle moments for me. It was the 25th anniversary. It was the same season we had Sandlot night, and I reached out to some of the original creators of the game and was able to coordinate. 2 of them came to the stadium. We had a backyard baseball night, so the whole night was themed around backyard baseball, and I got to meet the original creators of the game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was pretty special for me.
And last one, actually, yeah. What is your favorite baseball movie of all time?
That's tough. I think for me, it's a toss-up between Field of Dreams and Sandlot, just because I can't help but get teary-eyed when Ray and his father, John, have a catch at the end of the movie.
That's your shirt, yeah.
If you could see here. That's just one of the most iconic scenes in, I think, Hollywood history. And then the Sandlot too, it just reminds me, playing ball with my buddies growing up, and there's just so many cool one-liners and funny scenes and moments that you always reenact with your friends. And one of the coolest scenes for me from the Sandlot was when they meet oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name, but James Earl Jones' character, Mr. Myrtle. There it is. My friends are gonna hound me for not remembering his name, but when Benny and Smalls go talk baseball with Mr. Myrtle, and he shows him like all of his cool memorabilia, and he gives him the ball from the 1927 Yankees that were signed by the team. It's just one of my favorite moments of that movie, and that's why those 2 are up there on my list.
Well, that's all the questions I have. Thank you for answering them.
Yeah, man. Anytime. And how about this? We'll leave it with, I know the Phillies are down 3-2 right now. Or 3-2, yeah. Will they make a comeback, or is Houston putting it to sleep in Game 6?
I actually don't know who's pitching. It depends on who's pitching. Because if Wheeler's pitching, then maybe Suarez. I really don't know, but I think the Phillies. Yeah, I think the Phillies will come back.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
The Astros won 2 away. I think the Phillies will win 2 away.
I hope you're right. And all right, man. Well, I really appreciate you being on the show today. And before you leave, where can people go to listen to your podcast and follow along with your baseball adventures?
So baseball podcasts are fun. That's the name of it. This is the logo if you guys see it. It's on Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram at Baseball Podcast Are Fun. The R is ARE, not just one R. So that's where you can find it. Yeah, listeners, go check it out, please.
Yeah, and I can vouch for him. He's got a fun page, some awesome guests on there. Go give it a listen. But Grayson, it's been a pleasure, man.
Thank you so much for letting me be on the show.